Good afternoon, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this video. Class, we are going to talk about the volume of triangular prisms today. So with a triangular prism, what that means is we have, kind of like yesterday, we have the one shape, but then it is shot into a three-dimensional shape like so. So I have a triangle on one side, and then the rest of the shape. This triangle, we consider this the base, right? And the rest of this, which we were calling the length, in this case, we're going to define it as our height, because this is our base. Basically, we would flip it up on its side so that that triangle would be on the bottom, and then this would be the whole height, okay? So that's how we define it, because our volume of a triangular prism is to take the area of a base and then multiply it by your height or your length, whatever you want to call this. Basically, it's the thing that makes it 3D. Take a base, create it into 3D shape, and there is your second number. So in this case, if I were to give you measurements for this triangular prism, so let's draw a new one here. And this triangular prism, this is a right angle, which means the height of this triangle will be 6 inches, and the base of it here, going from the peak down to the base, is 3 inches. And then to turn it into a prism, I create my 3D-ness here, and the length of that 3D-ness, that height that we were talking about, we'll say that one is 5 inches. So all I have to do with my volume here, I click in my volume, my area of the base, it is the area of a triangle, which is what we were talking about all last chapter, all before break. So if you don't remember what your area formula is, you just flip back in your notes. And when you flip back in your notes, you'll see that it is half of the base times the height of that shape, of the triangle. And we will multiply that by this height, right? A different height. So these are two different heights in this case, because this is referring to our triangle, and this refers to the prism. So that's where it can be a little bit confusing. It's because we do see h in there twice, but it's a different value. Okay, h could also be labeled as our length, because it is the length of the shape. So I have to go in and insert the things I need. So volume, I don't know. We have 1/2. The base of my triangle is 3. The height of my triangle is 6. And so there is the formula that will find me the area of the base. And I take that and I just multiply it by the height or length, which is 5. So then all I have to do is just do a bunch of multiplication. But as you can see, we always do what's in the parentheses first. So this is what we do first. I can do these in any order because they're all inside the parentheses. They're all multiplication. My commutative property of multiplication says that I can do whichever one I want first. So I'm going to go ahead and say the volume is then 1/2 times, and I'm going to multiply those two together first to get 16 times 5. Then I do 1/2 times 18, which is just 18 over 2, so 18 divided by 2, which gives me 9, and so now I'm left with one number, so my parentheses are gone, and I have 9 times 5. So then my answer here is going to be 45, and because we're talking about volume, it means the amount of cubes that would fit inside of this whole shape, so that is where we come up with inches cubed. Alright. So for that triangular prism, we have 45 cubic inches. So just as before, we could always be given a volume and then have a missing value. So if I have another shape here, we'll say triangular prism looks a little bit like this time. And this is what our height is, but we don't know the height of that triangle. We know that the base here is 5 centimeters long. And then our prism has its own length here, and our length let me think about this 1 second. We'll say that this is 6 centimeters. So then our volume is going to be equal to 90 cubic centimeters. Now hopefully I did that math right in my head to get us a nice easy number for the H. So if I know the volume, I know how long the prism is, I know the height, the base and height of just the one base here. So I find my formula, which is the area of the base. That's why it's capitalized. It means area. In fact, we should probably write that in our notes, that this means area of base. And then this is the length or height of the prism. Okay? So just to define what those two are, that's important to have. So moving back to our problem here, so I have my formula. Okay? The base of it times the height or length of the entire prism. And now I just kind of have to fill in. So I need to know first the base. I'm looking at a triangle. So that means that rewriting my formula, I have 1/2 times the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle, again multiplied by the length or height of the entire prism. So again, this is just the triangle part. So then I fill in what I can about each part. So my volume I know is equal to 90. I still have 1/2. The base of my triangle is 5. The height of my triangle is unknown, so I'll just leave it as h. And then the length or height of the prism is 6. So then I have 90 equals 1/2 times 5 times h times 6. So again, I do everything in the parentheses first. I can simplify this as much as I can. What this is going to turn into is I'm going to end up getting 5 times 1/2 is 5/2 times h times 6. And again, I can multiply these two numbers, right? It's just one multiplication. It's just everything's being multiplied, so I can multiply these still as well. So I leave 90 here, and what I do is I'm going to take 5/2 over here, multiply it by 6, which is going to be 6 over 1. I can cross simplify this down to 3, so I get 5 times 3, so 15 wholes. So I have 15 times the length of the whole prism. And so now I'm looking at an equation that I can solve just by isolating the variable, making it so the h is going to be the only thing over here. And in order to do that, I divide both sides by 15. So that way my 15 can cancel out here. So I'm left with just the height of my triangle is going to be equal to 90 divided by 15. Which if I think, well, how many times can I multiply 15 to get 90? We try 6. So I get 30. 6 times 1 is 6, plus the 3 is 9. So nothing left over, so that means my answer is 6. So my height of my triangle is 6 centimeters. Alright, and that's how you can find a missing value using the formula as well. Alright, that should help you through your homework. If you have any questions, please make sure to ask, and I will be glad to help you.